gonna be our second movie. Tales from the Loop. Very excited. The AV Club back in action, of course.
Franchise rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
School, obviously, back in session. Early days, of course. Now, you might recall the novel way that a Tales from the Loop game starts with the individual vignettes that we all crave. You don't have to have thought of one necessarily. Obviously, you can collaborate and listen with me on that. But there is one twist that I'm going to put in your way because I'm that sort of person. What I would like you to do is, because we have played our first movie, right? I would like you to add a point to a skill that you like. And what I want you to do, to earn it, what I want you to do is I'd like your vignette to involve the skill in some way. It can be the moment you learn it. It can be you utilizing this new confidence you found in this ability. It can be incidental, but it would be cool, I think, for us to see that integrated into the vignette if you have a cool idea. Now, of course, as you begin your vignette, this is also a nice way to throw your character name in, some of your archetypal techniques, skills, sort of who you are in the AV Club, and you can introduce it to our gathered throng, which we are more than pleased to be performing for today. That club. So what do we got? Anybody ready to jump in?
I'm ready.
All right,
Put
Betty.
me in, coach.
So Betty Swallox, obviously,
Betty
an
is
exchange student.
exchange student from jolly old England.
Great.
She is sitting on the floor of her bedroom with Jeremy the pig, her familiar, sitting quietly as she sorts through various items of clothing that she has acquired from other members of the group. As she goes to each one, she says, "And this is my this is the jacket with large shoulder pads that I took from my very good friend Kimberly."
Is she relating this to the pig?
To the pig. And she goes, "And here are the jeans that I took from my very good friend, almost like a sister to me, Mick." And she's wearing a giant oversized work shirt with a name tag crossed out that says Timo.
Right.
From her very good friend, almost like a brother, Timo. This is how she's describing them as she says them.
Oh, exactly. And is there any relation between that shirt and the shirt that you have brought to the game today?
This is the same shirt.
It's the very same garment.
And it fits in a similar fashion. And she has stolen a pair of exciting socks from Snap, her very good friend Snap, almost like a sister to her.
Nice.
And as she is telling Jeremy, as she does every time she talks, as she does incessantly, about her new best friends, she has acquired an extra point in heart.
I see. So heart is a stat.
Yes.
And
Oh, did you
not
say
a
skill?
That's right.
Goodness
You
gracious.
can't just augment yourself with cybernetics.
I'm making a change. So then she got an extra point in charm.
There we go. As opposed to sneak,
Yes.
which is
Which is traditionally, she's been somewhat min-maxed.
no. It's good stuff. So beneath this pile of assorted laundry, there is a tiny sound like a pop, and a small lump appears underneath.
Well, Betty immediately knows what that is,
Absolutely.
and hurriedly takes all of the clothes off. I'm presuming this is Andrew,
Indeed.
the blink puppy.
Indeed. Andrew is able to, you're trying to disentangle young Andrew from this octopus of clothing. And currently the head is stuck in the sleeve. Andrew was under the impression that this sleeve went somewhere like a tunnel might, but now the dog is wearing the sleeve and it looks something like a sausage.
Well, he has to be getting bigger too, right? He's getting used to his body.
You can't fit through.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to extricate Andrew as best I can. I imagine the way that Betty would do that would be to grab the other end of the sleeve and shake it while saying encouraging words to her very good blink puppy, Andrew. You can do it.
Yeah, as you were shaking it
Look,
out,
we've all been stuck in a vent.
as you begin to vigorously shake, Andrew simply reappears a foot away.
Yeah, that would do it.
And then begins to wrestle with Jeremy, flip over, incredible licks, approaching 90% of the surface area
Excellent.
of the piglet. Who's next?
Temo,
Temo, let's get it.
who had a embarrassing moment in the previous storyline
Which was this about the
when
camera?
he attempted to fix Mick's camera and failed horribly. He still has that Super 8 camera manual from the office or the quote unquote studio for the AV club, and he's been studying it religiously
Oh, nice.
over the quote unquote. I mean, has there been a summer vacation? I don't know.
Well, I think that there has been a summer vacation.
The break.
I think there's been a summer vacation in the classic sense, perhaps for the other kids. But I suspect that Temo's summer vacation largely involves him grabbing seasonal work.
Yes. But in his off time, he has been studying this, and with that,
Reading it in the shade.
his tinker skill has increased to 3 points. So that is his skill increase.
Nice. Now, is there any tales of Temo getting ready for the next year of school?
I think things are still up in the air. He certainly enjoys his time at the AV club, but he's still spending most of his time looking for work.
Right, right. There have been multiple scenarios. So you spend a lot of time at home reading the manual, manipulating the radio whenever it needs repair. Your dad has shows that he likes to hear. He likes to listen to the mailman.
I mean, all he has to do but to open his window.
Indeed, but his hearing isn't what it once was.
Okay.
And you and there have been times where you have been working on this technology, had a sense that you were being observed, and when you look up, the mailman's curtain is drawn to a close.
Okay.
Who's next?
I can go.
I want to hear it. What do you got, Snap?
So Snap doesn't really need to sneak out of her parents' house.
It's understood.
It's understood. I mean, her mom works late hours, and her dad is usually, he doesn't really care. But she got wind that her best friends are going to a 21 or over. 21
from the
and
band?
over, yeah, from the band are going to
no.
a 21 or over concert for the band's name is Jill and Jack, which thanks Dave for band names.
Is this the sort of situation where alcohol might be present?
Yes, thank you for whispering. It's very sensitive. Thanks.
I mean, it's pretty scandalous.
So she
I didn't hear
needs to
what's going to be present.
Alcohol, yes.
alcohol. So she investigates outside the venue and finds.
So she goes?
Yeah, she's going. Like her band members were like, "It's like we're going. It's you know, you probably should stay behind." Like they were like, but like we're excited about the show. And we'll tell you all about it.
Oh,
And
but is that
and
enough?
her heart drops, and she's just like, another thing that I can't go to. She's really frustrated, and so she's like, I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna surprise them, and we're gonna have fun, and maybe I'll drink. So yeah, she sneaks in. She like finds. This is like in a crappy old warehouse that's like converted into like, you know, it's like a band is followed by like maybe 20 people.
Oh, sure.
including her.
It's like that rave scenario.
Yeah.
Where it's just like any flat
Yes, exactly.
place surrounded by sheet metal is sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've all been to concerts like that.
Yes.
So she finds like a bathroom window, like a small bathroom window that she feels like she can like maybe squeeze into.
Listen, I was saying, we can play this whole thing.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
into
ready?
that. Yeah.
All right, so why don't you grab a handful of them dice?
Okay.
Now, we're talking about, in this case, we're talking about, I'm going to say force or sneak plus body. Those are both body skills. So
Right.
add together those numbers, toss that many dice into this tray.
So okay. So is that including the ones? So I'm doing this in order to get it up. So I don't
Exactly,
actually
yeah. So you're basically like casing the joint
Yes.
as young Snap.
Right.
Oh, tell me about your attire. This is because you're
yeah.
you're here swinging for the fences, right?
Right,
Like you're like,
right.
hey, I'm on board. I'm a cool person.
Right.
I don't hold you back.
Right.
Right. You can go and do whatever you want to do, and I can be included. So
Exactly.
what's the so how is this version of Snap like head to toe?
Head
What
to
is
toe.
what is the presentation?
So she's definitely wearing her brother's army jacket as she always does.
That's
but,
gonna work.
This time she, before she went ahead and stitched in some more patches, and she kind of like made it a little bit dirtier than it normally is. But
Oh,
she would
some
never
distressing?
say that. Yeah.
Seems older now.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly. But she's put like more patches into it and stuff like that, and she's wearing her another band, not the same band because that's for Pa. She would never. She's like wearing her her band shirt for her band, which is the Drains. Thank you, Dave, for the band
Dude,
names.
Dave is looking good today.
I know.
The Drains is good though.
The Drains is
Thanks.
good, yeah. So she handmade all of her shirts. So she's wearing a shirt that she actually handmade.
Oh, dude, this is
For her band.
This is like when you wear. So Ronya is always wearing like her OC. Like she's always dressing as her OC,
yeah.
and it's like
That's very cute.
you made it. It's not from anything. Like
Right.
I don't know what that is, but this is kick ass. And the best part
Yeah.
is that you're almost certainly here. Never mind. You keep
It's
going.
okay. She's wearing like skin tight black pants that she hasn't worn before. She just got them, and she's wearing some army boots.
Nice.
So that's what
So
she's
like some surplus maybe.
yeah, surplus.
Thick
All of
sole, maybe a solid inch of waffle.
it's absolutely yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And they're like a little bit like they're like a size too big because she couldn't find them in her size. So, but yeah, she's that's how she's dressed.
Yeah, they say wear shoes for the foot you want to have. That's what
That's
they
what
say.
people say. That's true.
I think I'm sure I've heard that. So let's get these filthy dice out of
Okay,
here.
get out of here.
Nasty.
And so you are out, and it is maybe. So which are you going to go for, force or a sneak?
I'm gonna go for a sneak.
Okay, so it's up a little high,
Yeah.
but you think you can get that. You
Okay.
think that you can get there.
So 2 successes,
2 successes?
right? Isn't it over 3?
Oh no, in this one it's 6s only.
6 only. Okay, then no successes. I forgot.
I think that's going to be funny.
I totally forgot.
Much
This is gonna be
No, this
very
is better.
Okay,
better, yeah.
no, there's
Oh,
so-
is it? Okay.
No, this is actually way better. It's the failures are what I mean. That's
Yeah.
I will never forget, like to the end of my days when she's filming and then the whole school of film.
Oh my God!
Like I'll never forget that. Like to my mind, that's what makes this system great, and is also an opportunity for me to reveal a rule
Okay.
that is useful. So there's a couple things you can do. So for every year you are below 15, you get a point of luck.
Right.
And so you can use that luck to re-roll failed dice.
Yeah.
So you can expend that luck to fix this. There is another way you can do it, even if you don't have luck points, because older kids aren't going to have as much luck, right? They're going to have more skills and less luck.
Right.
They can push. So when you push, you go in and grab those dice and re-roll them. You can even push if you succeeded trying to get more successes, because the more successes you get, the cooler shit, like the better success it is, right? So you can push even if you win, but you can push all these dice, re-roll, or use a
Right.
point of luck. The difference with pushing is that you have to take a condition.
Do I choose the condition or do you choose the condition?
We figure out what condition would make sense. It's definitely like, there's nothing in this game that's sort of like a fuck the player type thing.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to tell the best story, but this is you're gonna get hurt, or you're
I know.
gonna get mad, like if you're trying to push. So we have a couple different ways to do it. So right now, you are hanging in the open part of the window. Your thick boots are sort of scrabbling against the outside of the
Yes.
of the thing. So you tell me how you want to take it to the next level,
So I
if
think
indeed you want to.
I think I'm gonna take a condition,
I love it.
and I think that what she's going to do is she's just going to try to continue to lift herself up, and then we'll just see like. She feels like her grip is like a little like iffy.
Yeah.
But she's like she's up here. She needs to take the chance. She's just gonna try to just
Muscle it.
muscle it through.
I love it. All right.
So I get to reroll all of
you
them.
get to re-roll all of them. That's what a push gives you. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
1.
That's perfect.
Okay.
So you pull yourself, just like with all of your youthful vigor, like, and you're just this image of you in the pit, and you gotta get to it.
Right.
It's gonna happen. And as you are pulling yourself up, you have to use your other hand to kind of push the window open wider. And then you pull yourself over and then sort of V yourself on the open window.
Yes.
And when you get into the bathroom, you fall with a thud on your right ankle.
Oh.
Like it doesn't make a sound, but it is not good.
Right.
So I would take an injury.
Take injury. Okay. That's what I thought.
So that'll just basically what that'll do is it'll give you a -1 on your dice pools.
Okay.
You can heal conditions. Usually you heal them by talking to your mentor.
Okay.
Or pediatrician.
Yeah, they call them anchor. yeah. Or you can go to the doctor. That's the other. That's the other way to do it. So how do you make this look cool?
So I roll my ankle, or I roll my ankle, and
Yeah.
then I sort of like I land on it, and so I sort of roll forward and then stand up, and I look around. I don't know, is anyone in the bathroom?
There are 2 other young women in there reapplying their face.
They're like makeup. So I adjust my jacket and I go, hey, yeah, I had to go around. The front door was blocked, and then I go out, limping out of the bathroom.
As you're leaving, one of them, they are clearly enamored of this pluck. And then as you're leaving the door, it's like the audio is like all muted, right?
Yeah.
And then as you push the door open, you're just hit with the music. You can see your friends out jumping in the pit, and as you walk out, one of the girls, you can hear one of the other girls like sort of under her voice say, "Have you ever heard of the Drains?"
Cool.
All right, who's next?
I'll go ahead.
Yeah,
That's
go for
cool.
it.
Okay,
Take it away,
so the scene comes on to the very end of The Goonies.
Oh, the move! Oh, this is great. Oh,
And-
they're out. They've emerged from the story, trial by fire sort of thing. It's flawless.
Yeah, exactly. And then the credits start rolling, and I'm obviously inspired.
Oh yeah.
So
No, are you watching this at Video A Go Go?
I am.
Like, you're behind the counter?
I'm ending my
It's
shift there.
watching late.
Yeah, well, I took a Saturday shift, I think.
Yeah.
And so
Extra money.
Yeah. I just I didn't have anything better to do, and there were some movies that I needed to watch. So it's still kind of early afternoon, so I turn it off and I pack up all my stuff. My shift is over. The next person taking up the shift just walked in, and I peace out, and I get on my bike and I start heading towards the quarry. But instead, I think, I could be an explorer. I could do what those kids did, And so I veer off instead of taking the road towards the quarry.
The road less traveled?
Yeah, I take the road towards the abandoned house at the end of the street.
Oh, that everyone knows about.
Yeah, and I currently put on "The Goonies Are Good Enough" by Cyndi Lauper.
Nice.
And that's the song that's playing during the scene. And I start heading towards that abandoned house. And so the skill point that I took was an investigate.
Oh, dude, that kicks ass.
So I roll up to the abandoned house and I pull out my camera and I start to film as I'm walking up, and I'm trying to get really cool shots. I'm trying to think of the shots that they took in the Goonies and tried to get some inspiration from there, and I try to enter.
Yeah. Well, when you reach over, and it's like, and you're glad, because you've always felt it was a little trite, like if someone is reaching for the door handle, like it's overused, and only to find that the door is already open a crack, but it literally happened in front of you in real life. You have reached down to open a door that was already open a crack.
Okay, so I'm just going to gently push it open, but I'm going to continue just standing there, and I just want to peer in to see if there's any sign of anyone in there, and I kind of...
There are multiple signs.
Yeah?
Yeah, this let's say purely for our own purpose that this is the Willamette house. This is the sort of thing older brothers and sisters remember the Willamettes, but they have not lived in the neighborhood in quite a while. Usually, police will come by, flash the sirens if a grown-up has called because they think that someone is squatting in there. But they can't last very long under those conditions. But you definitely, as you're going in, you definitely see graffiti, evidence that it has been, made home by people as they go. But there's actually, as you go in, you can actually see that there is a lamp on. Like you see the soft glow of a lamp in the what you think would probably be like the dining room, right through the main hall, and then just beyond, sort of surrounded by pillars sort of built into the wall. There is an open concept sort of dining room there.
Okay. So I go to say something, and then I stop myself, and I instead just kind of want to look around. Are there multiple stories to this house?
There is a set of stairs. If you were to take a left, you can sort of see the banister there that goes up.
Okay. I think I'm going to go up the stairs first.
Okay,
And I'm going to try to be as quiet as possible.
nice. So, give me that sneak.
Sneak. So,
Snack.
do I roll body and sneak?
You do.
Cool.
You do. So the sneak skill is a body skill, so it gets the benefit.
Rad. Okay. Here we go.
My ankle, I feel that I have like phantom ankle
I
pain.
do too. Like when you said that, I was
Like
like,
that
I've been
rolling
there.
the ankle, like I know exactly, and I know that little shape that the foot
Oh,
makes.
no.
And I also feel like I know what it's like to do that in front of people that you don't want to be doing it in front of.
Oh no, it's too real.
God.
It's too real. It turned out okay though. It ended up being a viral campaine
Yeah,
for
exactly.
For the drain 20 years before we knew that term.
Right.
So, so you are moving your hand over. It's like the dust is on the banister, and you're sort of using it to support yourself as you go up.
I'm trying to be as steady as possible for my camera work.
Exactly. It's a steady cam.
Yeah.
So you come up and around the side, and when you get to about the 11th stair, your left foot goes through the stair,
Oh no.
like down about a foot, and you're able to catch yourself together, and you're stuck, and you hear feet running out from the kitchen, and you turn around to see the door swing open, and someone run out.
And can I tell who it is or what they're wearing?
No, it's just, they appear to be dressed. It's like a dark hoodie, JanSport
Jansport.
backpack.
Evilest of brands.
But yeah. This is a young person who is dressed in such a way as to confound parents and the law.
Has Mick ever seen the movie Halloween yet?
Almost
I'm too
certainly.
young.
Oh, okay. Because I'd watched when I was that age, and I would have pieced out by this point. That would be as soon as I'm making a steady cam in an old spooky house
Yeah.
that's abandoned. I would have gone, why am I doing this to myself? Like it's got victim all over it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're able to pull you have to like twist your foot. It's like a body puzzle trying to get your foot up out of this stair. but it's like you sacrificed your entire body to protect the camera. So you tried to make your whole body into like a spring, and it's just like, so this all hurts, and like your back was made to account for this and this,
No.
and so, but it's just like, it's like your hand is like rising up, and it is perfectly okay.
It's like that same. I kind of want to yell after that person, like, "Hey, wait!" And I'm like trying to struggle to get out of there.
Yeah.
As quickly as possible.
Hey.
I obviously have like 3 new tears in my jeans.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy about that.
Honestly. So as you sort of limp a little bit down the stairs, like a few steps, and you're feeling better. The jeans will never be the same. But inside, you can see that the lamp is actually just plugged directly into the wall and then down on the ground, and you can see, like still plugged in, a soldering iron.
Really? And is there any sign of what they were working on?
No, you can't see anything else. I mean, there's a few little bits, transistors, and things like that. A few of the things that would surround a tool of that kind, but it doesn't look like it was for wood burning purposes. Doesn't appear to have been an art project.
How big is this soldering iron? Like, is it something that I could like
Oh,
pick up and take
absolutely.
with
Yeah.
me?
You don't want to touch the tip right now. It's very hot, but it's about this big.
Okay. I want to keep exploring for the rest of this, and then kind of come back and pick that up once it's cooled off a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
So
mean
when unplug it.
that's the most novel thing. I mean, you know that there's a movie. A movie deserves to be made of every room in this place, but this encounter here at the end has definitely piqued your curiosity. Kimberly, we're back to you. You've held off, and I assume it's because you have the best one.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
Would that it were so simple.
But
No.
it's worth.
Would that it were. Basically, I am sitting on the bleachers watching football practice at Meade High
Nice.
because
Panthers, go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
Blue and gold.
Wow. So I'm there actually in blue and gold. I'm not wearing the gear
No,
because that's
not the official gear.
That's gauche. No,
Yeah.
but I am definitely suggesting.
Oh, you are intimating.
I'm intimating that I have an interest in this sport that's more than casual.
Right.
I definitely look fantastic. I am wearing my fancy white gold star earrings, and I have coiffed myself in just such a way that those are very much. I almost
They're on
have like
display.
I have a halo around me. Is
Exactly.
Really the thing.
Exactly. It draws the viewer in.
There may or may not be some glitter that itself suggests stardust. I am clearly here to impress somebody, and I am also here to meet somebody because on a actual personal level, I have absolutely no interest in this bullshit. However, I am sitting here waiting for my friend, holding my Russian history textbook, and it looks like for some reason I've been deeply moved by a piece of it.
Dostoevsky.
Right now, unfortunately, I have it open to the Oprichnina. So I'm, the text itself says, it's talking about Vlad the Impaler going crazy. But I'm not reading the text. I'm reading a series of handwritten notes inside
Inside the book.
that I've secreted inside because I've decided, kind of since I have the time, might as well look them over. And I am crying. And just sort of like that sort of helpless sort of crying where you're sitting there a little bit like a suburban housewife and just trying really hard to not make any noise.
Just
but
to
you
hold
can't
it together?
You can't help what's coming out of your face. And I'm interrupted by my friend Shauna Miller, who was supposed to meet me there. And of course, in classic fashion, she says, "Are you crying?" And I just,
Wait, she
Yeah.
says, "Are you crying?" And as you look over to answer, the whole riser just jumps to their feet as though they are applauding
yes,
this personal, private moment.
yeah.
But it's clearly about what's down there.
Yeah, this is a weirdly popular football practice, but it's also kind of like the tail end of tryouts. So we've got people, there's parents and shit. As I turn to her, surrounded as I am with that, I am suddenly keenly aware of how public I am, and I straighten up immediately, and I'm just like, I'm practicing. Actually, I've finally cracked how to cry on command, and I just like. I fumble and I bring out my copy of the Our Town script that I'm studying for the
Oh,
audition.
nice. Well, I was just going to say, no doubt, these scripts were made available
Yes,
before school began,
for sure.
so that certain interested parties
Yes.
might be able to focus
Even
on
if they weren't, I would have gotten one anyway.
Yeah.
I have ways to find these things out. So I wave it around and I'm like, it's a very emotional piece, Our Town. Anyway, hi.
it. Town.
Yeah, hi, how are you? And she's just sort of like, she's like, fine, I guess. So by this point, everything's settled down.
Yeah.
She's like, so what are you gonna do about Jason? And I'm like, well, I figure, it doesn't, I mean, he is a high schooler. And I think it's pretty much clinched he's going to be, I don't see why I shouldn't hitch my wagon to that star. And she's like, well, the best time to
All
do
the
it.
metaphors, they're all together.
The best time to do it would be at Ralph's party on Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, well, I just don't, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe, sure, but I don't want it to be so public. And just as that happens, someone taps me on the shoulder, hands me another note, and I turn to look where they are, and they're disappeared.
They're gone.
I open it up, and people are actually dispersing now because the play is ended. Basically, everyone's already gone to congratulate each other. I open it up, I look at what's inside, and Shauna's like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just nothing. It's just study group." And I crumple it in my hand, cram it in my pocket, and rise and burdened with glorious purpose, basically make a beeline through the crowd that somehow parts from me because of the look in my eyes.
Right. The steely glare.
Through the crowd, I go, basically wend my way into the middle of the field, and then tap the shoulder of this 15-year-old kid who's cute by 15-year-old kid standards. And
He
he's
looks like a ginseng root.
yeah, he definitely, he whiffs the top of my head because I'm way too short for him.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, hey, Kimberly,
Is that Jason?
it's Jason."
Shit!
And I look into his eyes and I'm like, "I have something to tell you." And before he can respond, I smash my face into his face in an imitation of kissing that I've practiced over the past few days.
So just like flat on.
Oh yeah. It's just like the flat mouth.
It's not mouth fight. It's not the 30s mouth fight kiss. It's a little bit more. I have my mouth open in such a way you can only slightly tell I have no idea what I'm doing. But he's completely caught by surprise.
No, and he doesn't know what he is doing either. He thinks that it is time for tongues right away.
Oh yes. In fact, there's a little choke because it goes a little too far.
No,
I was not
it's
prepared.
like aliens.
Yeah, and so after he's literally touched my uvula, that's when I choose to break it off and then put my hands on his chest in the way that I've seen in films and look, and I'm just like, guess we're official.
Yeah. And then he just stands dumbfounded as you depart, like a satellite leaving the galaxy.
I would like to take a point in the lead.
Nice. And he's just standing
Very
there.
good.
And then another football enthusiast comes up and he's like, "Nice," and he puts his hand up, but Jason is not ready for it, and the hand eventually just kind of goes on his shoulder for a couple pats. And we had that. So as you are walking away from this scene, cataloging this newfound ability to rise to the occasion, at least in the movie space, the audience, of course, as they're watching the movie, hears this. "I warned you, goddammit." It's just like a voiceover as you're moving out. It says, "I warned you about these alien rays. Because they can't fry my noodle ever since I got the plate. But I'm gonna teach y'all how to stay safe from these goddamn alien bug men." And then it says, "The AV Club visiting hours." All right, so
I love our movie.
so school starts, and it's a mess of new teachers who don't have any idea what they're doing, and old teachers who, for some reason, think that the very first day of school is an optimal homework opportunity We know them.
Teachers, they
Yeah.
We know them.
Optimal
right?
tunity.
They don't understand.
don't understand.
Long story short, like parents,
Much like.
Very similar.
much like parents.
They don't get us.
No, they can't.
They also
How
make
could they
trombones.
possibly?
Not.
And so, mostly the first day is just sort of the grueling launch phase until you can finally head out to the portable and get back to Mr. Miller's class and the AV club. But over the summer, the levy was passed. Eventually, they may be adding on to the school. There's been talk about expanding the gym and perhaps the field out back. Panthers have done quite well the last few years, no doubt, thanks to Jason. But there are a few more portables out stacked, so it's much more dense out here. This used to be a teacher's parking lot, and now it's a series of classes in what are essentially mobile homes of various sizes. And a couple of these portables out here are suspended by magnetrine devices. So, like I was saying, when they were first building the loop, which is of course still perfectly visible, as soon as you walk into the school, even over the top of the school, the coolant towers are visible in their unblinking solitude out there, and trucks and so forth that were used to bring those materials out. You'd seen devices like this before. So there's a few standard portables, and then in the back there are 4 that are simply levitated above the ground on these devices that have no sound. So you just look over there, and then you can see perfectly. They're suspended 3 or 4 feet off of the ground, and they just have like a roll-away stair that they move up for kids and teachers to move up. But as you enter the AV club, you can see that Mr. Miller is beaming, just overjoyed, standing right at the door, welcoming everybody in, taps him on the back. Buenos dias, Temo.
Hello,
It's me
Mr.
every
Miller.
time.
What?
Temo is fine.
Buenos dias. And everyone is being carted in, and you can tell. Imagine that in the gleaming light. It reminds you, Mick. It reminds you of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sort of the way that you might have this dais and then this mystical object on it in this cone of light. In the center of the room, there is a table, and on this table is a computer. Yes.
I pull out my
Yes.
camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And I start walking towards it very slowly.
Yeah. And so Mr. Miller runs out in front of you to contextualize the shot. He says, "This is an OS2 powered computer. It's a collaboration between Microsoft and IBM. They've been at loggerheads, but let me go down some of the specs." And so then he sits down in the chair, and then he grabs a device off to the right of it and begins to move a little arrow around on the screen in the same way. And there's little folders on the screen. And he's manipulating this data with ease. And he says, "Let's talk about it. 20 meg hard drive.
No.
20 meg.
20. No.
20 meg.
That's not possible. And
It
we
is.
have one.
It is. Yeah.
What would you even do with 20 megs?
I pulled some strings. 8 megs of RAM.
8 megs of art. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is we can use this in any of our future endeavors.
Yes. He says, "Mick," and then he sort of looks back and forth as though he were crossing the street. And he says, "This thing is hot shit."
You're telling me this is top of the line.
And he says, watch this. And then he opens up a file and music begins to play from the speakers. He says, I imported it from Canada. It is the ad lib card. It is the latest. It's an audio card. You build it into the device.
Do you know what this means for our movies? Do you know what this means?
Well, compositions. We could be talking. There could be accompaniment. It's like it can simulate any instrument.
This is going to be better than a 2001. And this is going to be better than 2001: A Space Odyssey. We are going to create something this year that no one has ever seen before.
F. Kubrick.
Why would you say?
That was incredible. That was the best, and I'm super pleased with you. He stands up and then just points to the chair. He's inviting anyone who wants to come and worship at this digital altar.
I immediately sit down.
Yeah, it's like musical chairs.
Yeah.
You just like bam.
Yeah.
You get
Sorry,
down-
anyone else?
You get down there, but it's like the visual language of it is, it's like it takes a little while to move around. There's like a single thick button at the end of the mouse, which he calls a mouse,
Okay.
presumably from the cord tail, and then it's like out here. It's hard to know.
Okay. And what is the plural?
Mice,
Oh, okay.
mouses.
Mouses?
No,
Meese?
and he says meese. Moose. So he basically you can manipulate the file system without typing in commands at all.
I feel like a wizard.
Well, it's like something you would see in a movie. Like
Yeah.
you feel.
It's like
you,
you're in War Games.
No, exactly. You feel like you were in. You feel like you were in a movie. And he says next year he'd like to get a phone line run out to the portable. But that's gonna be. He says that's gonna be a lot of bake sales.
I get that. Okay, so I would just like to take some time to explore this, to see, what it's capable of. I feel like we're just scratching the surface right now.
Oh yeah, it's serious business. It's serious business.
Is there any way that we can use this to edit? Is there any way that we can use this?
Like edit live video.
Well, I don't know, just anything that we create. Like, is there any capability or
Well,
functionality there?
he says right now, word processing, mathematics, graphing, some musical composition.
You go, okay.
He's like, it has the 3.5-inch floppy. That's a lot more storage.
Okay. Well,
He has like the plastic case off to the left. You lift up the lid and the discs are in there.
I feel the need to press the button with
Yeah.
all of my fingers as I'm clicking
Oh
on
no!
things.
It's like-
The mouse.
I move the mouse and then I click.
And he says, by the end of this year, I want all these discs full.
Yes, sir.
All of them. It's going to be a big year.
Okay.
You hear a sound. It sounds like it's coming from behind the portable. There's like a slap on the window, and then you see then the shape just sort of like disappears from view, and is gone.
I shriek.
I'm just like,
Yeah, just like a reflex. Ah!
Is Temo here yet?
Yeah.
oh
I'm
yeah,
there.
Okay.
everybody's here.
I say, you know what this means, Temo? We need to start capturing footage as soon as possible. Like, I expect us to go out today and get something.
Okay.
I would say that in the background, Betty has gone up and inspected the computer while they're talking, has looked at the mouse, put it in her pocket, walked away, and then been pulled back by the cord. And then abandoned that plan and instead inspected the floppy disk for where there could be secreted about her.
Yeah, it's like, it's, Mr. Miller puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, Elizabeth, listen.
Don't think this
Go ahead.
Elizabeth, a mind-bogglingly expensive device, and I welcome you to use it. But all parts of it have to stay here.
I see. Here in Spokane.
Here in the portable. This portable. The portable we're in now.
I feel like you're really fencing me in with some of the statements you're making.
I welcome you to use it.
He's figured out Betsy then.
I encourage you to use it. Here. The mouse is very important.
But he
how you
turns out
drive
her
all-
pockets when numerous floppy disks fall to the ground.
While Mick
He thinks
while Mick is playing using the computer, Temo, being who he is
Oh.
fascinated not so much
it has
on
like the ring bound.
on the
Oh my God.
on the functionality of the computer and the user experience. He is looking around the back
Oh yes.
and just trying to figure out what each of these cables
Oh,
means.
No,
and
there is
how it's plugged in,
there is
secured,
a
and-
lot. Well, and you think that it could probably be cleaned up quite a bit. And right now, it's like it was set up with that. You know how sometimes, well, most of the time, all the time, for me, let's say that I got a console, and I would plug the console in, and then I would plug all the wires in.
Sometimes it just happens to be on the floor.
Dirty, yes. And I plug it in, and then I plug it on. And it's like, oh, well, this is fine for now. I'll clean that up later.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. It's set up with genuine enthusiasm and not a lot.
No, it's I picture a round table with a computer in the middle of the round
exactly,
table
like
with
it's-
cords shooting from the center of the table off the side
tentacles.
and down. And
yeah.
it's, the cleanliness is not so much the issue. I'm just Temo's fascinated with like all these things hooked up and just mechanically, it's very interesting to him.
Oh yeah, there's a lot, and you can see it's like one side, of course, has this plastic case for the 3.5 floppies. The right side has an indomitable slab of a ring-bound manual for the operating system. It is delicious.
Having been startled by whatever was in the window, which I didn't see, I just sort of gaze over and I'm like, oh, cool. Does it have Pong? I just see you tense up.
I tense up because I'm starting to write out a script in whatever document.
It's so loose.
Yeah.
And it's like mid-morning.
Yeah, mid-morning, and then I start listing out quotes that I already know.
Yeah. It's a movie. It's a meta movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a meta movie. Mr. Miller says, you could make Pong on this computer.
They already sell Pong.
Yes, but not for this computer. It's very new.
Fine.
One of you could write it. I know you have it in you. Snap. You could make a program for this computer that could do anything that you wanted.
Anything that I wanted?
Anything that you wanted.
I
This is for you too, Snap. I know it doesn't have any strings.
she rolls her eyes.
I am like being a dad has prepared me for Mr. Miller.
She looks at the computer and she says, "You said it could make music."
Oh, it can. It can. There is a type of interface that we can install on the back for composition, for composing live music.
Live music.
Imagine a studio right here in the AV Club.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would love
Yes,
to do that.
that's what we have.
Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to make music with this?
I start searching for the little
Music.
a little
No, 'cause
icon.
you know how it is. Like, you're just gonna be looking for a folder that says music.
Yeah.
You're not able to find it. you can see that your friend Temo is like hip deep in this manual, sitting in a chair,
Yeah.
sitting in a chair across the way. The next scene. Imagine that this scene is being replayed again, but the palette is darker. Everyone has come in to the portable, and the computer is not there. So
Wasn't me.
again, imagine the same environment. Everyone else comes in expecting to see this, artifact here on this central table, and it is not there. And then everyone is filtering in, feeling the way that they feel about this new information. And Mr. Miller's hand is very firm on your shoulder,
My shoulder.
steady.
Yeah, I had a
Like,
feeling it was
kinda
coming to
roll
me.
in. You kind of roll in at the side. Everyone else goes in, and he says, class, work on your projects without the benefit of space-age technology. And he takes you out front, and you can see that so you are standing on the stairs that lead up to the portable, and he has folded his arms. And you can see, and he looks over, and you can see other students filtering out through this maze-like warren that the portables have become. And they don't want to be anywhere near this. They see that they see the arms folded like a vizier. And they don't want to know. Like, they don't want to be called. They don't want to be witnesses. Right? That's going to take up the whole weekend.
Just to be clear,
So they
Betty
scurry.
didn't do this.
He is waiting for you to talk.
Boy, I've been there.
Betty,
Like a grown-up.
Betty knows better than to talk to a cop. She just has an innocent smile on her face because she knows, as far as she's concerned, she can only be accused of crimes that she's actually done.
As far as she knows, yes,
Yeah,
she lacks imagination.
That's the only way it's ever happened because nothing has previously been stolen that Betty hadn't been responsible for. So this is a new experience for her.
Right,
This is the first time someone's beaten her to something.
right. So, Mr. Miller says, I'm disappointed, Elizabeth.
Why are you disappointed?
The computer is gone. And yesterday we talked about the computer staying where it was in a very specific place. And now it's gone. And I don't know what the weather is like in England right now. But this is the sort of behavior that's going to result in you having a very intimate experience, a homecoming, if you will. But I don't think it will be a nice homecoming. Do you?
I'm not. Are you accusing me of stealing the computer?
I don't know.
And
Did
she's
you do
genuinely shocked because
it? Did you do it?
I did not steal the computer. I have nowhere to put the computer. I don't know what I now. If we were talking about elements of the computer being stolen, I may have done that, but I am not a whole computer stealer. That's not what I do at all, and I find these accusations atrocious. I will give you back the floppy disks, and as a favor to you and a sign of good faith, the computer, sir, is not in my possession.
I don't like being in the middle of this.
Does it feel bad? It should feel
I
bad.
don't ever want to disappoint you. Like I'm at the
Yeah.
point where I'm
Oh,
like,
it's no good.
oh no.
I'm trying to picture in my head a
No, it's-
very
you-
small girl hefting this enormous.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. But so you can like just it's muffled, but you can hear this conversation like through the metal of the stair that is touching the portable.
So are
Like
we
vibrations?
inside the portable and
looking
they're in the
opposite
stairs?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm
what
looking
is-
out the window.
he has
I was gonna say we gotta
sequestered-
see, and then we're just sitting there, and I'm like, I don't remember what my project was supposed to be anyway.
So they're snooping on the conversation,
Yeah.
and
In varying degrees of
Temo
stealth.
is examining the scene of the crime. Like, are there cords there? I mean, is everything gone? As
It is-
if it's
it
a
is
clean table.
gone.
And, okay, everything's gone.
And that is what it is.
I'm trying to film the crime scene.
Nice.
I am trying to find as much evidence as possible, and I'm like, hey, so this is where the computer was. And this is probably where it went. And I point towards the door, and I look down, and I'm like, I don't see any footprints whatsoever.
Didn't you just pick up investigate?
We're going to have to figure something out, guys.
Why
So-
would there be footprints? It hasn't rained in like days.
Is there anything
know
out
who
of
did it.
place right now?
Yeah, I'm amazed that any of you don't think it was Betty.
We'll just go to Betty's house.
That's my house.
Have you seen her? She's like 5 pounds. Or pound. What do they say in England? Is it pound?
Yeah.
Pounds.
Stones.
Ounces?
Sure, she's like a small rock.
Yeah,
is what I'm
the-
saying.
Temo, having a younger sister, has already done that math.
Like she's
Knowing that it's
imperial.
Betty, it would be very difficult for Betty
Unless
to pull
she stole
off
like a really big
this
wagon.
crime. Yeah.
I'm just saying is that I wouldn't be here right now if there's a computer at my house. I would be back at home.
I'm not saying you stole it. Oh my God,
No.
everything doesn't have to be about you, Nick.
Look, you're not wrong. However, if my friend, if my if the student
Betty?
staying in my house, if Betty
Yeah.
stole the computer, I would know, and I would probably tell you.
Is she staying in your room?
No,
She doesn't even like the stuff she steals. I probably just puts in a pile.
Do you know everything that she steals?
I mean, of course not. But don't you think that a computer is a little too large to hide?
No, I mean, it's too big, but like,
I think Temo probably keeps an
right,
she's
inventory.
capable.
yeah.
do you think that there's maybe a stash? Because I haven't thought about that before. I've never thought about these.
I know she
large
buried in a
objects.
hole. Whatever it is.
Lauren.
You know she's got like a hollow tree somewhere, like a Keebler elf.
I don't think she's shown up to the house covered in dirt. So I don't know about being having it buried.
She could just
but-
steal new clothes. I mean, you've seen her. She's slippery. She's like a newt.
So Betty,
I was just gonna say-
outside,
yeah.
has lost her ability to retain chill.
Yeah, and so this
She's now
this
incensed at this accusation.
this gaze from Mr. Miller is beginning to take on an almost physical weight. And he says, "Betty, I'm not."
Don't say it. Don't you dare. Don't you do it, Hawkins.
I'm not angry,
Don't you do it.
but, and then his body becomes rigid. Like the arms fall to the sides, his feet are firmly planted. He makes several neck adjustments and then sort of like swivels almost like a turret down to your face. And he says, "Scanning. Judgment. 2 days." And he says, "I'm disappointed."
So Betty had already begun, her face is bright red, had already begun to shout, "This is bollocks," and has stopped and says, "What?"
I thought certainly after last year.
No, the scanning bit. She doesn't let you finish.
Yeah. I can't be a source of amusement for you, Betty. I want to have a relationship with you and the other members of the AV club where you can come to me, you can trust me with things. But this is a teacher-student relationship, and it requires that the respect go both ways.
So Betty's calmed down now, very suddenly, and she says, I'm not saying anything else without speaking to my lawyer.
He
And she
says,
folds her arms.
he says, there's another way it can go, Betty. You can bring the computer back. I don't have the best memory. And I could bring myself to forget it.
Especially don't have the best memory now the computer's gone. It was all in the computer.
No, Betty.
In the distance, a rim shot.
Yeah, Betty, listen, you gotta know your audience, kid. And he walks back, and he leaves you on the stair and walks back in.
We run back to our desk.
So before, while this is all happening, Tama remembers the noise from the window and the shadows. So while you guys are trying to listen in on the conversation, and you are doing your investigation thing, I go to the window. Temo goes to the window and just has a look out just to see if there's anything. If there's anything going on with this window.
Absolutely. It's a great window.
No, nothing weird about it. Okay.
Today's show is actually sponsored by Johnson Windows, so that's a very tasteful. No. So you hold your head out. Mm-hmm. Or do you open it, or you just look out?
I just examine it, like, because there was a crash, there was a shadow.
No, there's a couple. There is a couple. There's still sort of the outline of a couple handprints, like almost like a sweaty handprint, in the dust. So it's September.
Yeah.
They're starting to, like, the ponderosa pines essentially emit thick pollen 24/7, and so it's on every glass surface, and you can see it as plain as day. But you also hear something just outside.
Which way is this window facing?
So here we go. Imagine that the portable for the AV club is in a cluster of other portables in the teacher parking lot that used to exist on the left, but now it's been converted into classes.
Okay.
On the north side, so it's long, north to south.
Yep.
On the northeast face, on the right side, is where the stairs that Betty Swalks is currently being interrogated on. The rear left is where one of these windows is. That's where you saw the shape.
And the fact that there is handprints on this window is uncommon compared to the rest of the windows.
Oh yeah,
'cause,
it's dust everywhere.
students aren't,
Well, it's
like-
high up,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. I motion to Mick and point at the handprint and remind Mick about the noise that we heard yesterday.
Okay, so I'm gonna come up and film the handprint, and I say, is there any way that we can keep a sample of the fingerprint?
Are you saying you want to dust the dust for prints?
Is there any tape? Do we have any tape nearby?
I mean, probably. I mean, it's a classroom.
Yeah.
Like, let's.
Those are
let's
fun.
Can I
Okay.
find tape on like one of the desks?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I go over to the tape, I take a piece off, and I go up to obviously the index finger.
So you go outside.
So we have to go outside
yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
print would be on the outside.
So yeah, I'm going to go outside and around, and I'm going to put the tape over
We
the...
pass by an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Is there only one entrance?
There's one door. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you walk out. So right now, Mr. Miller has come back in.
Yeah.
And then basically you are passing a sort of statue-like Betty Swallows on the way out. And Mr. Miller's like eyes are down. You've never seen this
Mr. Miller's.
is the teacher.
Has
No,
has
he's
has
inside now?
Mick
he is pulled in.
has Mick ever seen Betty in this state?
No.
This is a novel configuration of people. Yeah.
Okay, as I walk out, I'm going to say, you're going to help us find this computer, Betty.
She
But
says,
I
I
keep-
didn't do it.
Didn't say you did.
Whatever you say, she said, but I didn't do it.
Still walking away. So I say that out loud. And I walk around the backside and I put the tape over the
Well,
index.
no.
No?
No.
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 No. So you have the whole tape dispenser
All of it.
with you. Like you don't know like those weighted
It's
ones.
just classic Scotch tape.
Yeah,
real
exactly.
heavy.
The teacher
yeah,
one.
the
right?
big teacher
like
Scotch
not
tape.
the little plastic
No.
one, the big one.
You get sand.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
The bottom
Oh
of your
yeah.
edge.
Yeah, doubles as a maraca. Mr. Miller knows about those. And so you come around. So you pass and you issue this edict to Betty, and then as you come around the back window, around low, and you can see that like underneath this window, you can sort of get a sense that that's where one of the wheels is from the portable. And so you think that you might be able to like stand on that wheel and peek in. And as you come around, you see someone like kneeling down, stuffing something into a backpack.
Is it a Jansport?
It is a JanSport backpack. Brown, lifetime warranty.
Okay.
The stream is also
JanSport.
sponsored by.
JanSport.
So as we round the corner,
different
we
pack
see
to
this
back.
person crouched.
No, exactly.
Do
like
we-
the hoodie pulled
we,
over.
like,
Oh.
Stop.
Yeah. I say,
and-
let's get
no, and they look back up at you.
Oh, did he see
And,
me?
oh, yeah, it's hear you, right? They look back up at you, and they grab their backpack, and then just
It's
make
on.
a break for it.
Is it filled? Is the backpack just like the biggest backpack ever?
It's relatively decent size.
All right.
Okay.
Tamo is in hot pursuit.
All right. Yeah. So they make a break for it, big time. Can I have a handful of those dice?
Of course.
Thank you. Because they need to be able to contend with Temo. So Temo, you break. So what's the mix situation?
I'm going to be running after, but while filming, so it's going to be shaky cam.
Shaky cam.
Shaky cam. And I'm just going to be booking it right after. And I'm going to yell really loud so that I can try to alert these guys. I don't know if they hear it or not,
Yeah.
though.
So this is a body move, I assume.
It is.
Okay. So I got 7 dice.
Nice. So basically, you break into a run.
Like almost immediately, as soon as I see them putting on the backpack, and getting ready to go.
So they take a left, you follow them around. They take a right, and this is where they're at. One of the they've reached the part of the portables area where it's the newer Magnetrine lifted portables are, and you see them. They jump and then push themselves off the portable to get higher on the fence and get over.
It's good technique.
My issue is that when I'm running after you, the tape sound is also just like
Yeah.
with the footsteps.
No, it's providing a sort of background audio.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a very exciting theme.
You start running in time with the shaking, and you're like, what am I doing?
It's not important.
It's like a samurai movie.
So they're making a break
are.
to jump the fence to leave the grounds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've got
Fuck.
1 success.
All right, perfect. If you would be so kind as to throw these dice
Yes, of course.
over there.
One.
One
Wait,
success.
what is this?
What is that?
Find out, is that a 6 or a
No,
It's
a
not.
one.
It's a 1.
6 or a 1? All right, so you see this. Do you use the same technique? You have a success, so you get what you want. But
Yes.
how do you contend with their technique?
How do I contend with their tanks? So they hop off the side of this
Yeah.
last portable to
get a little bit higher.
Get a little bit higher.
right.
I think that what I can do, because if I do the same thing, I'm still going to be slightly behind. Instead of trying to like get in pace with them to be exactly, I'm just going to reach and grab
Nice.
like a foot. or something, because they're already ahead. So instead of, I will attempt to, I don't know if it's a force, to actually just stop their
Any
movement.
physical stuff like that is
Yeah.
force. You bet.
So I want to try that.
So they will do the same thing to escape. Let's get another
Okay.
Roll of these pools.
that
Can you
gives me an extra die.
hook me up here?
Yeah.
This is our
Roll
first
these again?
resisted roll.
Yeah.
Very good.
So you do. So you give us. Actually, let's have Keek do it, and then we'll respond
Yeah.
over here.
Okay.
All right. So Keek, so you are trying to snatch this. You're trying to
Yeah,
snatch
I'm just
this
grabbing this shoe,
It's
ankle,
a,
piece
it's a-
of a pant leg kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah, it's like a Converse
Okay,
high top,
gotcha.
long laces.
Not a single success.
Now, remember, you can push, you can use luck. There's lots
Mm-hmm.
of ways to get successes, even if it looks like it didn't go okay.
Let's just go ahead and push, and I'll toss in a luck.
Wait, so luck.
Luck is
lets luck lets you push for free. So
okay.
pushing means you have to take a condition. So if you
I will
if you
use a luck to push.
exactly.
So let me count my dice again. Yeah, that's enough.
Nice.
3 successes.
The number's a beast.
Jeez.
All right, here. Let's see what we got over here.
Tear his leg off.
Yeah. So I get some pant leg on that one.
Not a single one.
Yeah, right over the top. Like they're just about like their hands are on the bar at the top of the fence, and they're sort of lifting their trunk over it to swing a leg, and you just get a grip, like at the ankle. Like this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now you have 2 more successes. One success is all that's required.
Right.
What do you want to happen with your other 2 successes?
So I know that. So the pant leg I grab.
Yeah.
But everyone can always lose their pants.
Yeah.
But with my other hand, I sort of pull a little bit on the pant leg and grab the backpack, which
Oh,
is
there
has
we go.
the strap.
Strap.
Yeah, so I have all the leverage happening right now.
It's just
Yeah, so I just grab the backpack and then just pull.
okay. Absolutely. So you just snatch them effortlessly right out of the air, and they shriek audibly. You pull them down onto the concrete, and the backpack sort of supports their fall.
And I just asked,
And their eyes are wild. Like they have a like a handkerchief over the bottom half of their face.
okay, so I don't know what I'm contending with yet.
No. The eyes are wild with fear.
Okay. I just asked, why are you running?
So I don't get caught.
Caught by who?
Anyway.
Well, you failed.
Yeah. They're breathing hard enough that they want to remove the bottom half of it, and you think you might have seen this this young man before, but it would require something like an empathize.
Empathize or
Yeah.
maybe contact?
Yeah, this would be empathize.
Okay.
But other people have access to this role as well. Obviously, Mick is there with you.
Yeah, I assume Mick and Betty just caught
so
up.
Betty's
did Betty-
immediately began screaming after this person as soon
Yeah.
as they realized that something was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's probably
He does not like the camera. He's like holding his hands in front of the.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm going to.
like cops.
So there is a ledge, obviously, that he had jumped on.
Well, yeah. It's basically like the ledge, and then the fence is attached to the top of it. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to set the camera down on the ledge so that we can do an
Nice.
or an interrogation style sort of thing, and point it at him. And then I take out the tape, and I set my backpack down, and it's kind of like a small little montage of like tape out. You hear the
Yeah.
tape. Unzip the backpack, pull out something, and then I want to try to tape his hands together.
With the
That's
With
Scotch
Scotch
tape.
tape.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good.
Oh yeah.
So great.
It's mostly theatrical.
Yeah,
like you
mostly
have no
theatrical.
intention of it actually working.
Yeah.
And I make sure I like stop you just as the roll diminishes because we still need tape for the fingerprints.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just like
We can see this all from the window, right?
Oh yeah. You heard the shriek. Like so right now you're looking out the north-facing
Yeah.
window, and Mr. Miller, he just has his hand like palm down on the round table.
Oh, he's
sort of-
breathing.
Just sort of brushing it.
completely oblivious.
You think there might be
anything
like
else
a
that's
John
happening.
Denver song playing
Oh, yeah.
in his mind?
Oh, my
Christ.
bags are packed.
Yeah.
You fill up my sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
So we're
And
watching.
then there's a couple sort of loving pats.
Oh
Oh man.
So he is not catching it.
no!
So we're seeing we saw the badass tackle, etc.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if
was
you were following, if you heard the yell and then the run, like if
Yeah.
you were like, what the?
It was like a
you-
football game. We would go, oh
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, you're
It's
watching
actually
it.
it's more like some WWF.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you're watching it like as
good.
though on a television the size
Yeah.
that did not exist at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Betty, upon reaching who she believes is the culprit, lets out a tribal yell.
A barbaric yop.
A yop.
Yeah, a yelp, and goes for a moonsault.
No.
And I imagine it's just plucked out of the air. It's just put to one side.
I say to him, I know who you are. Don't you think I don't know who you are?
Even Tim was a little bit confused by that.
He says, "No, you don't."
Yeah.
Nobody
I was
does.
there the other day. I saw you. I know exactly. That backpack, I know you. And I pull out.
Oh, now he's like now because he had it before. Like he had that confident patina, and now it's like I've been placed at the scene.
And I say to him, I know you know what the lamp is. You know the lamp I'm talking about. Don't you act like you don't.
Is this as you're taping your hands together?
Yeah.
Around and around and
Yeah, and I'm
around.
kind of whispering it.
No.
Yeah.
Call him motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
From the window, I'm like, she's gonna kiss him.
Like all the worst cop drama interrogations is coming out from
Yeah.
all the
I
movies.
think I'm being very-
Every movie.
I'm being very intimidating right now.
He pulls back the top of his
Hoodie?
hoodie,
Yes.
and you can see that it's all shaved on the sides except for a single like low strip on the middle, and
Such a badass.
and he addresses the camera directly. He says, "I'm James Lord, and I destroyed the human race." All right, now, where do we want the next scene? Where do we want the next scene to take place?
Before that scene ends, have
Yeah.
we discovered yet what he was putting into his backpack?
Yeah, that's
Not yet.
yet?
Not
Okay.
yet. But you have him.
Okay,
you
but we have
him
him.
now.
Okay.
You can have a different relationship. Let's say that. Oh no, Kimberly, please.
Supply cabinet looks like a cage. You put him in the cage. Like there could be one behind the stage area, like in wherever the auditorium is. There's always going to be some goddamn supply cage, and that's the brig that you throw him into.
No, that's where all the gym equipment is.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
yeah.
So even better at the
Yeah.
gym. Yeah. Because it was either that or under the bleachers. You know.
No, the
we
worst
couldn't
part
figure
is
out
that it's
where.
still like half full of gym equipment.
Oh, it's
so
awful.
he sort of has to like be uncomfortable.
Every so
like,
often, just a medicine
these
ball falls.
dodgeballs and like soccer balls and stuff.
It's awkward, and like there's at some point someone gets a volleyball net and wraps it around the time to a chair, which isn't very good.
We kind of trip over one of those little scooters with the little handles on the
Oh
side.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome for a
that's pretty
gang. So, the next time our scene opens. So so you're gonna keep him in this
Brig.
brig.
We call her the brig and only the brig.
And then after school, you will retrieve them.
Yeah, we just need to secure it.
Yeah. He doesn't like you're like you know what? The best way to do kryptonite lock. Like the bike lock.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and we would all have them.
You would bike lock right through, but there's like 3 bike locks.
Oh yeah.
All with our different costumes.
I'm not giving mine up because it's new.
I know that. I think Betty
You
would.
don't have ownership
Yeah.
concepts. Like you don't understand the concept of ownership really.
Though I'm afraid of the security of my bike, so I also lock my bike to it.
Right.
This is the best.
Wonderful.
This is incredible. This is how it should be. This is what Tales from the Loop is about. It's about attaching bikes to things.
In order to imprison children.
We don't know how old this is. He could be
Exactly.
Captured an
he could be a
adult.
dwarf. We don't know.
Betty is definitely the jailer. She's gotten like a plastic children's hockey stick.
Yes.
That she has over her shoulder, and she's
Like
just
marches.
pacing back and forth, just looking in at this animal. And every now and then, just hits the
Rattles
cage
it. Oh yeah.
Wide-eyed.
stick. She's never hated anyone this much in her entire life.
I let my new friends of the football team know to pass it along the jocks that no one's to go in the supply cabinet. We've got someone in there.
All right. Yeah. Jason passes that
Yeah.
along. Like his neck. It's a sort of avian thing.
Yeah.
Like you know how it's like after you start like kissing a person. Like I don't mean like the actual time.
Sure.
I mean like once it's established that
Yeah.
you can kiss that person without penalty,
Yeah.
then you always sort of think that it's time to do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
oh
so
yeah.
it's like iron filings. Like he's just like
Yeah.
he never knows if
It's
it's
a
the right.
willy situation
Yeah,
here.
he never knows if it's the right time, but he also sort of feels like it's always going to be the right time.
Yeah. And
So after every
No.
interaction, there's this.
Yeah, exactly. He's
like-
like a weeble.
Yeah.
and every so and the first couple times I oblige, now I'm just like I'm done talking now. Like I don't.
No, but it's like, cool.
Yeah. Because he's got to be chill. Gotta
Oh yeah, he
chill.
can't not be chill.
Yeah.
So let's see, where will our next scene open up? Oh, Kimberly, you are called to the office.
And as with most things, I just act like, oh, it's a phone call, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
You get
gather,
phone calls at school.
Yeah.
For
I have.
personal- yeah,
and I sometimes I make phone calls from the school.
that makes sense. You would.
And not from a payphone, from the principal's office. This is an established thing with me. So I take my very fancy purse that substitutes for a backpack because I'm not a freak. And I saunter down there acting like I'm going to just meet with my friend, the President of the United States.
Right.
And you walk
Very exclusive.
with the bag like this. That's
Well,
your
and it's
walking
very
style.
much a thing where I have my books like this, and the bag is a crossbody, and so
Yeah.
there's a swish that happens. It's really bad.
It's not good.
I think I look wonderful. I am in fact, I'm
A mutant.
I'm a very strange creature.
But it's purposeful that the label on the guest jeans is
Yeah.
visible the entire time.
Oh my gosh, it's like the
Yeah, 100%.
I do.
So that's why you
weird,
got the books and the
I do
strap.
weird
Yeah.
things to make sure the label's
to
visible.
expose the brand at all times.
I ruin outfits for the sake of the exposed label. Let's be clear here. So yes, I make it to the principal's
Yeah,
office.
You make it to the principal's office, and then the principal says, "Please take a seat."
Of course. And I sit down and I cross my ankles, stand up straight, and put my hands like this in my lap, just, as you're supposed to, cotillion.
He stands up, and when he does stand up, the door opens, and a man in a jet black suit enters, crisp white undershirt, earpiece, sunglasses. And when he enters, the principal quails for a moment and leaves.
Well, the principal's afraid of me, so. But I'm still on my guard.
When he enters in, he sits down in the principal's desk, adjusts a few items on the surface according to some mystic ratio only they are privy to.
G-Man feng shui.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a G-force.
G-force. Might have known.
And he says, have you recently encountered anything that you would describe as strange?
What?
Oh, it's going to be like this.
Like, okay. But like, strange?
Strange.
Cool.
Let's say radioactive, just for a start. Something extraterrestrial.
I mean, I have a radio and it's active.
Young lady, this is what
Oh, you mean like ham radio? Yes.
this is very serious.
Okay. I mean, I'm as serious as I can be right now. I'm
No,
trying to parse
I don't
what you're
think so.
saying. Okay, cool.
I suspect that an arraignment for aiding and abetting an enemy nation might elevate your capacity for seriousness.
Nice. I'm really glad you're threatening a child. I need to speak to my lawyer.
You are incredibly confused about the severity of this.
No, sir, I know exactly what my rights are. I need to speak to my lawyer.
He says, and as he stands up from the chair, you can see behind him another black van approach. And he says, I think that you would be very wise, young lady, scanning. Judgment accelerated. 3 hours.
Can I have your name? Just, I need your name, your badge number.
He has begun to blink in a way that seems purposeful and specific. You don't think it's up to him, but the pattern of it doesn't seem random.
Is this epilepsy? Are you okay? Are you spazzing out? I call to the principal, whose name?
Let's say Thomas. That's a classic.
I'll definitely just call him just Thomas. Thomas! Thomas, I think. And I just go to the door to try and like see where he went.
Yeah. So you go out.
Hey, Thomas! This guy's having a problem.
When you get to the office, when you go out, okay, because he does not come in immediately.
No.
Right? When you go out, you can see this blinking pattern on the entirety of the office staff.
I bolt. And I don't know where I'm going yet, but I've got all my shit, so might as well start with, let me see, do I know anyone else's, is there any reason I would know anyone else's class schedule at this point?
You'd know where I am because you know where you left me.
Yeah.
That's a true
And
fact.
that I don't
That's
go
a true
to
fact.
classes.
That's a true fact. So yeah, I'm gonna bolt for. I'm gonna take a weird circuitous route because I'm 90% sure they're following me, and I'm not gonna look back because I might turn into a pillar of salt or something. So I take the weirdest route possible to the gym. And am I seeing anyone as I go?
Yeah. Students are.
Everyone's just stopped.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all hall monitors and.
Yeah, but are they all doing the blink?
No. Students are not under whatever this is.
It's grown-ups who
only the
don't
grown-ups?
understand.
Yeah, it appears to be adults specifically. And then once you get like a hall away, even the grown-ups aren't affected by it.
Well, I'm still making my way downtown, walking fast. Sorry, I can't.
You
Hello.
villain!
Way,
That song isn't
making
released
way.
for another 10
I know
years.
it's not.
No,
I take injury.
No, when we play After the Flood
Yeah, for sure.
in the 90s,
Oh God, yes.
we can get it hooked up.
Yeah, for sure. No, so Kimberly at this point is just doing. She's gone from like a sprint to a weird power walk because now we have to look casual, but makes her way as quickly as possible to the cage, where Betty is. I am assuming just finishing another weird patrol over the
Yeah.
5 feet. she has to do.
Yeah. So at this point, we are going to move time forward, and the group of you are outside this cage.
How much time?
It's
End of the day.
just at the end of the day, basically.
Is that more than 3 hours?
No.
Great.
It's about an hour.
Cool.
So I mean, obviously, time is very short, but it's not quite that short.
What do you mean they have a weird blink?
It's like if everyone put eye drops in, but they're all staring straight ahead and they're all doing eye drops, and it's like Morse code. It's not like if it's a reflexive blink, like if I go like this to your eyes, you'll blink a little, right? Like a little. But this is like if everyone had a secret message with each other, or they're all on the same. It's Morse code, but for your eyes.
So it's like they're all turning into Cybermen.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
felt very.
believe this?
Here.
It felt very invasion
is
of
the-
the body snatchers.
Hey, Snap.
First-
Snap. So you're looking down, and he is just seated in there, and he's just rearranged the items in his backpack.
Yeah.
You see various. You see.
We didn't take his backpack off him.
What's that?
Did we not take his backpack
Oh,
off him?
you
He still
tell
has
me.
it in there.
You tell
Oh, we
me.
would have taken it off.
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we
yeah.
would've taken
So,
it off.
so inside there,
would
it's a
think
bunch
so.
of nonsense things that.
It's not a computer. Something you
No, you think that these might be parts of a computer.
Okay. Betty would point out when she hears the thing about blinking, she'll go, "Oh, my one didn't do that.
Your what?
My one, when my robot teacher said I was being judged, he didn't blink."
When did this happen? Why didn't you tell us? Who are you? Oh my god. You have to tell us now. What happened?
I like the fact that I think people not telling Kimberly important information is now running. It was just,
No, it's a fucking great bit.
yeah, it was.
It's great.
Why would you tell her though?
Before I disabled the
Right.
villain with my moonsault, I was speaking to Mr. Miller, and he did the same thing. He did scanning, judgment time, 2 days.
Oh, you got 2 days?
But he didn't blink. Well,
You got 2
you know,
days. There was
uh,
no blink?
there was no blinking. He
Wow.
just, and then he just carried on saying what he was saying before, which was stupid.
Are you sure he didn't blink at all?
He blinked the normal amount.
So while this is happening,
Yeah.
you think you might know this kid. You think you
Oh.
might have seen this kid before.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. And I need you to roll dice
Yeah.
as a result.
You said
This is gonna be contact, right?
Yeah, well, this is probably going to
Empathize?
be yeah. I mean, this contact. I will let
Contact,
you do
okay.
contact on this because you actually have seen them before. But that doesn't mean that you remember exactly why. Empathize would also work.
I have the same amount of dice for both of them, so
Perfect.
works. And I'm proficient in both of them. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need one more?
Right, now don't forget, you are currently injured, and it is taking your mind off of things a little bit.
That's
So
right.
that's -1 die. Sorry, gotta be that way.
I want
From
to.
her
I want
wealth
to
of
pull
die.
some bullshit to get out of that, but I won't.
But you have
I
some
did
stuff.
spend time with Harvey at the concert.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. Oh my God, you did, didn't you?
Yes.
And Harvey's your anchor.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's totally here. That's totally legit. Here, so
Okay.
grab your Apple Pencil.
Thank you.
This
The
is
stream
some-
is also sponsored by.
This is some Pat Rothfuss bullshit.
Sponsored by pencils.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, am I gonna do this? I don't know.
No, you have to. I think that is because you spent time with your anchor. Like that's mechanically how it works in the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like this like you'll remember this night, like for decades,
Right.
right? And you will never remember the ankle, right?
Yes. Right.
It's like that. So
nice.
toss those dice.
As
Let's
much
see
as
what
I
you got.
can with my first drinks.
Yeah, exactly. You did your best. You're feeling no pain, as they say.
Yeah.
2.
2.
Nice, nice.
So here, so let me because it's a specific case. Let me offer the extra information that you
Okay.
receive. You have seen him in band, just sort of like always like at the edge. He seems like he's always just on the periphery
Right.
of any social engagement, any social situation. The lunchroom, he is an island, functionally speaking. Every now and then, like the cool girl from the ASB will like come over and like do like the pity how are you doing type thing. And it doesn't absorb.
Okay.
He's not he can't make those types of connections, and you know for a fact you had seen a deeply unsophisticated attempt to make up a black eye.
Oh, by him. Yeah. In class, like he came to class with. Is that what you mean? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like you had seen him with this. So you know for a fact that this person is if not actively excluded, has certainly been on the wrong side of bully interactions.
Right.
He's the wrong
see.
size. He has a smart mouth.
Right.
Right. Just
Yeah.
the sort of thing that a person who recognizes classic hegemonic hierarchies. It's the sort of square peg one wants to pound into a round hole.
Right. Right. I guess while we're arguing, I look over.
So you see, it's like you just there's all this information just from him down there, and now the bag is out. Everyone else is discussing his fate,
Yeah.
and his arms are just sort of around his knees, looking up at everyone.
Did
And you know his
did a
name, too.
name occur to Snap?
Well, because we have his name, don't we?
Yeah.
Isn't it Jonathan Lord?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Jonathan Lord.
Yeah,
I
Jonathan.
thought it
Yep.
was. Jeremy's my pig.
James Lord.
Yeah, James. That's it. I knew it was close. Right. So yeah.
Okay.
It was like that name you know from when he said it, but you know him mostly just because of where he sits in every one of these social situations.
Right.
Like you don't know him personally.
Yeah. Okay. And he's. I'm guessing he's in my grade.
Yeah.
Okay. I say, I know this guy. He's in my band class. And then I look at him. I go, right, you're in my band. And I just kind of stare at him. Like, he goes to school here. I don't know if that was obvious to
goes
anyone,
here?
but he goes here.
Okay.
So
Of
I feel
course,
like
Kimberly would not know who
No.
this person
No,
is
no.
at all.
I know it's a band.
Just
What?
a ghost.
Here's
Yes.
Kit.
Yeah.
I feel
Get
like
out.
I haven't been completely honest with all of you.
Oh, now more revelations. Great. What more haven't you shared?
So I was watching Goonies the other day. And you know, as it goes with Goonies, it's such an inspiring piece. And
We have someone in a cage.
well, so I finished watching them. And I was going to the quarry as I usually do, and I decided that day that it was time to level up. And I went to a house instead. You know the house I'm talking about, the one at the end of the street.
Oh gosh, the party house.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Willamette house.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, I went in because I figured that I'd get some amazing shots there, and I did. I started going up the stairs, and I had a mishap, and my foot went through the stairs. The camera's fine, and suddenly, out of nowhere, someone went out the door and just took off. They booked it, but they had a JanSport backpack, and I believe that was James. And what James left behind, right, James? You left this behind. Tell me what it is.
A soldering iron.
Yeah. And I pull it out of my backpack. Yeah. And I put it.
Like Sting.
Yeah.
Is it the kind that looks
It's
like a gun, or
glowing.
is it the one that's just a stick? Because there are totally soldering irons that look like a gun.
Oh no, it isn't that type. It's
isn't
the one
that type,
that
it's the
handle like the drawing.
Everyone like takes a step back.
And I kind of wave it in front of James's face, and I'm like, "Tell me what this is."
You should answer. You should answer.
It's a soldering iron.
It was hot when it was plugged in when I found it. Yeah.
It's for soldering. Soldering requires heat.
Oh, okay. So what do you think maybe he was soldering? What kind of things do you solder?
I was.
Do you solder?
It's to
Okay.
use with metal.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to get
Is
it.
it like
Electronics.
This is
Yes.
getting kinky over here. They think it's some kind of
Crosstalk.
sex toy.
Oh,
I do not think it's a sex.
She knows what it is, and I'm just like, it looks like a vibrator. Is it a vibrator?
You think vibrators look like guns?
You guys, this got hot at the end. I know.
So it is a vibrator. To be fair, like that was out of character. Betty has no idea what that is.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Of course. Of course.
So, apparently, so Temo, do you wanna reiterate what you just said?
It's used for electronics, used with metal.
So he is our culprit. He is the one who stole the computer. Tell us where the
Should-
computer is.
He stole it in the past?
He stole it before it got stolen. A classic move.
No, I'm just saying. Maybe he thought the soldering iron was still at the house.
Well, did you? And I just ask him directly.
He says, we can talk about this for another couple hours, and then nothing is going to matter at all.
Okay,
where's
what
the
happens
computer?
in 2 hours?
Confess!
I don't care about 2 hours. I want to know where this computer is.
He says, no one listens to me. And I found someone who would listen.
Okay. Like
We all turn away. Done.
Yeah, like
Sorry, what'd you say?
This is you.
so like he went to a therapist or a counselor?
His eyes widen a little bit and his jaw sets. And he says, using the computer, I found them.
Who's them?
He says, I don't know what they call themselves, but I know that they have a job and they have an idea about justice.
You said
That.
we had 2 hours left. I would suggest being a little bit more poignant, a little bit more specific.
Just, pacing.
No, he says, there's nothing we could do. Whenever I talked to them before, the amount of power I could drive the signal with, it took the signal 5 hours to reach them. I mean, we would have to have a completely new. we'd have to have a completely new broadcast array. Maybe it's okay if all this goes away.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, what goes away?
Did you take the computer?
He's like, the computer is at the haunted house. It's upstairs.
Good. Let's go and get it. Adventure concludes.
Okay.
Temo asks James if he needs help.
And he, as much into the room as into the folded arms of his hoodie, he says, yes. Well, when our scene opens back up, we have arrived at the Willamette house at the end of the street. And you can see, so he walks around the back of the house, and you can see what he has gotten up to back here. So from the front, it is the classic scenario that we have all seen before. It's forbidding, but it's forbidding in a way that's inviting to young people. It's that very specific combination of dirty, but like, I want to know what's in there.
The It House?
It's private.
It's private. Yeah. When he leads you around the back, sort of like readjusts his backpack over one shoulder, you can see that there is something like there's a cobbled together smorgasbord of home antennas, small satellite dishes, radio antennas, and so as soon as you come around the side, you see these things, because behind the Willamette house, one of the things that makes it so scary is that it abuts the wood. So as soon as you come around, you see that he has set up, it looks like some kind of strange cannon. And in a way it is. It's simply a cannon for transmission instead of danger. But in this case, we've managed to commingle the two. He has made contact with something or someone. And he says, I just told them what I was feeling. I felt like it was so nice to get a response. I had to wait for it. But they seemed to understand and sympathize. And now they have an idea about the human race that I can't get out of their heads.
So you bitched and moaned, and now aliens are going to blow up the Earth. We're all gonna die because you had a feeling.
I don't think they're going to destroy the Earth, but I think that the surface will be altered.
You do realize that you live on the surface too.
Yeah, like, do you have, like, diplomatic immunity now because you're our ambassador to the aliens?
Because I want whatever you're having.
Yeah. He looks out, so he leads everyone up the stairs, cautiously avoids the 11th stair, and in this attic room, the beloved OS2 machine is there in the center, and there are tarps and cloths sort of draped around inside, but the computer has been modified substantially, and it is connected mechanically to this array. And he says, a week ago, I think I was okay with it in a way, but now I'm over my head. And we're all in a lot of trouble.
No
And
shit.
And I'm really sorry, but I'm really sorry.
Betty puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "It's okay. We won't tell Mr. Miller that you took the computer." We'll
Just
put it-
completely have no
just-
idea about the gravity of
Yeah.
what is being
We'll
discussed.
just put it back. No one here is a grass
Yeah, exactly.
except Kimberly.
Yeah, exactly. So, but imagine the device. It has all of the trappings of that 80s computer conception. I mean, let's add a few things just for kicks. There's a
Is there a
tape drive.
wireframe
It's a
image?
contraption at this point.
There's a tape drive.
Yes.
There's tape.
yeah, for no
There is.
apparent reason.
There's a telephone,
It
but like
looks
the telephone
important.
is like the handle is off and it's placed down onto the modem.
Oh my god.
And it's just a jungle of wires. And he says, "There's no way we can get this thing ready. There's no way we can send the message in time." He's like, "You need to call your moms. You need to."
Call your mom.
Okay, we're not bringing leathers.
Okay, my mom's dead, all right, so that's a little hurtful, but
So wait, are we gonna get sucked into the computer if we touch it? And I like look at Mick like is this one of those?
Look, I'm not ruling it out.
Because I'm not touching this thing.
That's okay. We'll risk it.
Temo looks at Snap and asks, "What about the mailman?"
Yeah, he might know.
The mailman always pings twice.
He does seem to strangely know about things like this,
He also might have
even
to
when
know.
they're not
The
true.
broadcast ability,
You think he could tinker this together?
or we can gain the necessary equipment for our own use.
Betty pops
I
up.
never considered this for even a second.
Do
And
I need to make
I'm so
another
glad.
bake sale? Do you need me to make another bake sale? What?
How much tape do we have?
No.
Oh God,
Tape do we?
I don't know. Like, oh, you mean wait, like videotape? Because that's your department.
Oh no, we have plenty there. I'm talking about tape. Because if we need to tie him up, we need to have this under wraps at this point. But
Who do
we
you
need to
want
make
to tie
sure
up?
the mailman.
Mailman.
Wouldn't he want to help us?
Well, we've got
won't
to.
want
Trying to
He's tied
save
up.
mankind. This is his jam.
Temo asks James how they listen.
He says they can talk back through the computer. And then
think I've heard the mailman
there's
say
a
that.
very meaningful cursor blink in the middle of the screen.
There's
Betty sits down at the computer and cracks her knuckles.
hack the planet.
I say let's pack it up and take it over to him because the sooner we can get it over to him, the better. But
How
that
long
being
is
said,
that gonna take?
Yeah.
James, you are a part of this now. You're in this movie, and I'm holding up my
Because we need your backpack.
yeah because we're gonna
Congratulations.
need as much space as possible. Also, do we also all take our bikes there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's our method of travel.
Yeah,
for-
it has to. It's like the saddlebags, the backpack,
Yeah.
all the stuff. So the next scene is like back tires of BMX bikes kicking up gravel. Leaving tracks through them, like crisscrossing tracks through the mud.
Full backpacks.
Oh, full backpacks. Little baskets with cables on the front. The mouse is like the cable for the mouse is in the backpack, but the mouse itself is extending out and it's just sort of swinging behind.
This is going to
Just
look
married.
really bad if Mr. Miller drives by.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that in the front
Yeah,
of
it
my
is.
pocket.
No. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
There'll be a dejected Mr. Miller driving home from school.
in the microbus.
Exactly. Yeah. Driving home from school. He's got some Simon and Garfunkel playing on the 8-track, and
I
he,
need a song, Jerry.
yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm a rock.
Okay.
Yeah, always. Never
Yeah,
not.
and so never not play. And
Yeah.
he drives. He stops at a stop sign. He looks over and he sees one bike, and then he sees all the bikes, and then he sees who it is, and then he adjusts his rear view mirror, and the whole phalanx of the AV club,
The convoy.
exactly behind him is pulling up. So this and in the next scene, who's gonna ride whose pegs is he gonna ride on? This is
I
important
don't
for
have
the
pegs.
scene.
not.
I've got a basket, but no pegs.
Pegs.
I'll have pegs.
All right, cool. All right, so
But I'm behind because I think he's gonna jump.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, you carry at the rear, and so he's on the pegs, backpack on the back, and he has his hands are on your shoulder, and so he's just following along with every rut
I'm gonna have a soldering iron sticking out of my front pocket.
and every dip. So basically, like he has a grip on there, and so you guys are cruising, and so it shows all 6 of you there. He jumps down from the pegs. Everyone else is kicking out their kickstands, and you stand before the hermetic bunker of the mailman.
Are previously infiltrated.
So excited. It's a beautiful plan.
I put on
Team up.
sunglasses that I seem to have procured out of nowhere because I don't want him to recognize me.
Nice. That's the key.
So has he made any adjustments? Because we don't know if he was aware that we took the blank dog from him. But is there still like? I bet he's immediately probing.
Did he have
his place for
any
weaknesses.
indication that there was some skullduggery involved? in
No.
the
He
previous,
didn't know that the dog was down there.
Okay, yeah.
So you, but he knows about the kids, and he doesn't. He probably thinks you're Grays or something. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But it was Kimberly who had the previous interaction.
Yes.
Oh, with
And
the
there was-
magazines.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a little bit of rapport
It was like
generated.
I can talk to him, but I'm also like nervous about it. So I do have my weird I have Ray-Bans on because I just don't want to be. I don't know if
You
this
wanna
is
be
what
seen.
we do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's time to reveal.
Have we decided if we're going to ask him if we're just going to ask him for help, or if we're going to immediately do
I think he'll
skullduggery?
help us.
Yeah. Time
that would be
time
my-
is ticking down. Does it-
okay.
Here, so let's say that at some point, Elizabeth St. Walker, you stole one of those awesome Casio calculator watches.
That sounds something I do. Yeah.
And so,
That's in character. I'm not going to.
so you're looking down, and based on what you had heard before, there's about 20 minutes left.
Right. So I alert people to this, and said, based on my calculations, we only have about 20 minutes.
You stole my dad's watch?
This is a different of your dad's
You know
watch.
what? Whatever. Fine. We've got
20 minutes,
Exactly.
and you want to have this argument now.
So
I'm not even.
So when this, as soon as the voices are starting to get raised, you see the inner door open up to it's not wood. It's like that. It's like that metal sheeted frame with the loose handle, and there is a American flag draped top to bottom, so that it basically occupies the entire shape. So there's just a flag and then a screen door, and then the door opens up, and you are face to face with the mailman.
I say, we need your help to save the world.
Why didn't you say so?
I look at Timo, I'm like,
So his obviously it's a little bit down lower, and he's purchased, as we suggested before, he's purchased several of the lots around,
Right.
just so that he has a
It's
private.
a compound at this point.
It is his compound. It's the mailman. It's the post office. I'm sure is what he would call it. Like if he's talking about where he's communicating from, it's the post office mailman. And so the
that's his hideout.
So exactly, that's his hideout. God knows, maybe he has 5 weird friends. We should play that game later. Right? And so
Tomorrow.
you get into there, but this thing appears to be wearing like an elaborate hat, like his
there any
his
tinfoil
portable. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
A literal tinfoil hat.
Yeah. It appears like it is
a
wearing
cowboy
one.
hat?
Yeah, it is wearing one, and it's just like this, like a crown of radio arrays, and like it is topped well.
So that's why he's not a Cyberman.
That's how we know.
I look at you in like a space that kind of feels sorry for you.
No,
This is an
and nod.
extremely obscure
Doesn't
reference
this make him
in
a Cyberman?
80s America.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
It's all
no
PBS.
one knows what she's talking
All
about.
PBS, and he says, "Young lady, you know about them Cybermen?"
Boy, do I. Boy, do I. We're at a crossroads right now. The world is going to end as we know it. We need to take all these pieces, and I point to my backpack. We need to hook them together, and we need to communicate to the others.
But he says, the world ain't in right now, and he pulls a curtain aside, and on the inside surface of a window, you can see an elaborate diagram with pins, and he says, "Little lady, we are safe until 2012."
Sir,
Jimmy,
do you want to risk
tell him.
this?
He steps forward and says, "It's true, sir. It's all true." And the equipment begins to be decanted. Strange modem, the computer, and his eyes are just growing wider and wider with each new bagged revelation.
Yeah, this is an unboxing video.
Yeah, exactly. This is the world's first unboxing video.
That's true.
And he says, well, the resources of the post office are available to you kids at any time, as long as you believe in the fight against alien bugmen.
I'm increasingly believing in the
100%
fight against the alien
Absolutely.
bugmen.
Against the bugmen.
Yes.
Wasn't necessarily on board.
I put my hand over his mouth. We're absolutely.
It's not even faith that we have to rely on. We know this to be true. So
You were
please
right
help us.
all along.
Exactly. So obviously there's massive copper trunks coming down from holes that he has drilled and then filled with rubber caulking, and we have to integrate these things. These things have to become a part of his apparatus in order for this communication to occur.
Right, so there is some
So everybody, I need everybody to help. I need everybody to
assembly montage.
exactly. And so everybody has a everyone has
Still
a
tinker.
everyone has a part to play.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
So this is just the awesome part, near the end of the movie, right?
Right. Right.
So everybody helps the way they can help, and that's important, right? I mean, everybody is going to have something to put out here.
Right.
So I just need to know the full plan, how everybody is helping everybody else. No, of course, you can just help a friend.
I'm making.
That is one of the things you can
coffee.
do.
I'm making coffee. I'm making refreshments. Everyone must be fed.
I love it. Wait,
Okay.
don't you have lead?
I do have lead, yes,
This
but
is-
I don't know what the hell any of this is.
But it doesn't matter.
That's a good idea.
It doesn't matter. You're
Coordinating.
It
motivating.
doesn't matter.
You're
And the,
project managing.
you exactly. You
don't need
are.
to know what the project
Now are you happy?
Oh, I'm deeply happy.
There art thou happy. Yeah. So lead is one of the coolest skills I think in this game, which is why I wanted to call it out. So build your pool. So obviously lead is a heart skill.
Yes. 3 plus 5.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. So you roll 8 die. So get the rest of those filthy die out of there. And this is my sister or my daughter Ronya's character is like the leader in their group,
Okay.
Paradise.
Oh, wonderful.
And it comes in handy a lot. So let's see what kind of successes we can get here.
Not a fool thing.
got one.
Great. One fool thing.
No, it's actually very cool. Now you can use a luck point if you want to get more successes, and I might recommend that you do.
I will, because why not?
So don't pull one of the dies out because
Oh, okay,
because yes, exactly, because you already had a 6.
Yes.
So then roll the rest of the one, roll all non-6s basically, and then mark your luck point off.
2 more.
Oof. Yep, that's amazing. So if you have 3 successes, you grant 6 dice
Very
that
good.
you get to distribute to your friends in any way you see fit, but they have to take your advice. Oh. So this is why. Oh no! This is why Kimberly.
This is everything I've ever wanted.
Right? I knew that you would love this skill. So this is why Kimberly is so good at this. So she's got ideas. So the first thing she
Oh,
does.
I got ideas.
The first thing she does is get this jet black, oily coffee. Like you have to what has remained in here has stayed on the heating element. So there's almost a kind of syrup
It's like a mole, really.
in the bottom. Yeah, exactly.
coffee syrup.
So you're gonna make coffee. Are you gonna make coffee on top of that syrup?
I'm actually gonna make coffee tea. Gonna get the black PG tips that I know he's got in there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it with coffee, tea
Like
coffee.
we're still children, so
Yeah.
a ton of sugar.
Oh no, the sugar's
like,
gonna
this
happen.
is candy.
Oh yes,
By
yes,
the
yes.
time it
Mailman
gets to
takes
us.
sugar as
So
It has
I'm
to
actually
be.
going to make some. I know how to make basic caramel with condensed milk, with his ancient condensed milk that's
So
in there.
it's fast. So you're building
You're
this
moving.
fast.
I am.
Because time is of the essence.
Yeah, I'm giving him. I'm simmering down my caramel while I am also making coffee and brewing tea.
And so
I'm
now
gonna
the place
combine them.
smells good.
It smells fucking amazing.
I say I want mine black.
I don't
But
think
Snap
there's any
knows
other-
that that's what cool people
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say,
gonna
great
like it.
news. All the milk is spoiled, so you'll get your wish.
Now, so she has begun to activate her Wonder Twin powers. How is everybody else putting this solution
So
together?
I suspect that Betty is following Temo's lead because she has no relevant technical abilities but can move stuff.
So she's probably like that little assistant goblin.
Yes, that's,
Like
that's
a wrench
it.
in here, just running around, moving,
Yes.
plugging things
Yeah.
in, or it's a thing where you can get behind, like in a tight space.
Yeah.
And then Temo will be like, this one.
Yeah, so my tech plus tinker is only 6, but my force is 8. So I wonder if we leave James to the tech and I am the muscle getting on the ceiling.
Well, if he
and
built it in
pulling
the first
stuff
place, I don't
down
see why
and-
not.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the mailman knows how his equipment works as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am helping with getting those leads connected to the computer from the ceiling. What do I got here? So
The mailman has put something over his head that looks like a salad bowl.
he's changed. his equipment.
Something more comfortable for the occasion.
It might be something more serious, something that are on the fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hopping up there. I'm pulling these wires down,
He looks at himself in the hallway mirror.
and I got a single success.
Perfect. So you were able to. So you and James are working sort of in concert, in tandem, plugging
this
things in,
stuff
turning
up.
things. Like you'll turn the back of it to face him. You'll have to tug this cable trunk down a little bit.
Yep.
It's like loose. It's pulled out. Like there's now daylight visible through the ceiling. So you are amassing this truly one of a kind piece of technology. I need to know what is going on with Snap, Mick, and Betty.
I was thinking, since I have a lot and empathize and contact, I thought I would be the one that actually does the message.
That's really cool. That is really great.
I will lend to this.
Yeah, I thought you might help.
Yes.
with that
That's
too.
really most things.
sick. Yeah, so basically you can commit as many of your, so you have a 6-die pool
Yeah.
that you can just tap people and say this, this, this. So you have some suggestions?
What's your current? How many dice you're going to start with?
I'll
Yes.
start with 8.
You're going to start with 8. Let's make it an even 10.
So you are building this,
Yeah.
and you have, but it's like with a priority toward getting the keyboard out here and the monitor here while you're hooking up the rest of it. Now you are sitting in front of this blinking cursor.
Right.
How do you?
No, I'm actually positioning it at your height and level at eyesight, so the monitor, so you're like fully comfortable
Yeah.
with the ergonomics are exactly right.
This is very comfortable. A standing desk. So what is, I looked to Kim up and I said, what exactly is the message that we need to get out? We need to,
Stop plan immediately.
First, Jimmy, because I'm never going to call him his actual name.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy.
He's
Jormy. Just like names that don't even.
He looks
Jam.
he looks at his watch really quick and then sort of like peeks his head up from behind the computer.
Real quick. What did you tell them? How at what point did they decide to kill us all? What made them decide?
He says, I told him about my dad.
Okay. What did your dad do?
He says, we don't have time for that.
Okay. So real quick, what was their response? What do you remember the exact words that
I didn't hear anything for
Okay.
5 or 6 hours, and then they said they would fix it.
Real quick, since I'm apparently the one who's going to have justice done to them first, what does justice mean in this case?
He says, we'll know soon.
Is there anything in what you conveyed to them that we could get a hint of what justice is?
Betty,
He's
these
he's
people-
he's plugging in a couple. Like he's definitely working
Yeah.
fast, but he has a sort of resolute weight about him.
Yeah.
so Betty understands, once he mentioned a father, what he is feeling. And she is going to try and use heart and charm
Sick.
to get him to say what the problem is.
Nice. That's so Betty. So
Perfect.
build that pool and toss it.
Give me some D's.
How many?
Some douse.
I need 3 for heart and I need 1 for charm. So only 4 because it's still Betty.
But this is a situation where
She's also replete with luck.
Grab
exactly.
yet another.
So yeah, so grab
That-
a
Oh, yeah.
grab a bonus die because you're basically directing the social environment.
You're gonna need that luck.
I'm gonna need that luck.
Yep. So re-roll any un-6 die.
1 6.
All right. So what do you say?
So Betty, what does she say?
Right.
She says to him, "Oh, you have a dad too." And she just looks at him, and she says,
Wow.
"And nothing you do is what he expected you to do."
Yeah.
You aren't what he thought.
Yeah, he grabs a wire and sort of like holds it in his mouth while he twists a couple more wires together,
You can't.
taps it.
You can't do anything right. Right?
Yeah. He takes the cable out of his mouth and plugs it in, and it says, "When I told them what he did, how cruel he was, I don't think they have a word for it in their language. I don't think they couldn't understand it. That's when this started."
Would it change things if he had said he was sorry and that he was proud of you and he likes you just the way you are and admires your ability to steal?
So this will be a private moment for Betty. Now, so now you have information.
Right. So I would build the message to say, this is the AV Club, and we are here to help James with his father, and we don't need anyone to fix it.
That's a little impolite. That's just a little impolite. Maybe don't say we don't need
you've
you.
got to
Maybe something like
be
we got
assertive,
this.
in my
we've got
opinion,
this.
when
Yeah,
dealing with
so I
people.
read-
a
Readjust
little
the
better.
message to
A
say,
little
like,
better. I just don't tell them to turn around and leave. I mean, we don't.
Maybe we appreciate their help.
Yes, maybe something like we aren't where we came. We aren't from. Who we are is not where we come from, and who we will become is better than who we are now. I'm not sure. Help. Do you have any inspiring movie stuff?
What if? Okay. I think some of the most emotion can be felt in our media. What if we start quoting Total Eclipse from the Heart
Okay.
lyrics?
Turn around.
That's
Every now and then,
that's a
I get
really-
a little bit lonely, and I feel
And I
like
need
heavy
you now
metal's to
tonight.
blame.
And I need you now. And I need you.
There's also the
more
part that
than-
That's
says
the
we're living
opposite
in a
of what
powder
we want.
keg and giving off sparks, so maybe not.
We also don't need them now tonight. That's very much
sounds
the opposite
really not
of the
good.
message.
A song might be okay though as well. I think.
The remix. That's so fucking sick. Turn around.
Wait,
Are any of
wait.
the aliens called Bright Eyes?
Do the aliens know anything? Do they understand the concept of heaven? Do you think?
I think they live in heaven.
Okay. What if I've got something and I write down just a little bit of heaven is a place on earth?
That's your song, isn't it?
It is. And I'm just like, we could build around this. We could just, well, what if we send them poetry? Something that's just so nice that they see who we are and we're not.
Betty says, I know some poems.
Thanks. Not limericks. I
Oh.
don't need limericks.
What if I'm trying to figure out how to relay this message in Temo's way of relaying it.
It's like hyper practical.
Yes. Huge surprise. What if we just say that James is safe?
What if we say that the AV Club is now helping James and we don't, like, what if we say that he doesn't need help anymore because
He's under
James,
We've done-
the
would you be
protection.
comfortable with us?
James is now at the window.
Yeah.
And you can see as he parts it, you can see like bright beams of light coming in
gotta
the
hurry.
side, and there are visible craft
I feel
in
like
the sky over
some
Spokane.
hustle,
We're his family
maybe.
now, and we can take care of him.
Yes.
He has another family. He can choose his family.
Perfect. That's what I'll put. So
Simple.
that is simple. You're right. So I put that James's father may have been cruel at points, but we are his new family, his chosen family.
We can protect
and
him.
we will protect him.
The hum of the inconceivably sophisticated capacitors that power these flying city-sized cannons are audible outside. And you can feel it as you're typing this, you can feel it in the skin of your scalp.
Okay.
So it's blinking right there at the end, the cursor.
Okay, so I finished it, and I
Yeah.
think to myself, this is gonna make a really good song. And okay, 10 dice. I need
She's always trying to find that inspiration, right?
yeah 7. I need 4 more.
4.
Perfect.
Yeah, you need more dice in your
many
pool than you
dice.
had. Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Have some dice, I guess.
Actually, I only need. Let's do this.
Good God.
And I still have a luck point left, so. 1, 2, 3, 3 sixes.
Nice.
Do you want to re-roll?
3.
Gonna push real quick.
All right. So you hit the button, and it's like that whine and that sort of electric skin response tension. And it's like you're typing, and then you look over at your right arm, and it's just the hairs are standing like completely up as you're typing this. And then the mailman is looking at the text.
I was wondering what he was doing. Okay.
Well, and he like gets down a little bit close, and on his bowl, his salad bowl, gets bumped and falls off, and then he scrambles to get it, and then he stands stock upright
Oh no.
and just sort of like looking out into the sort of the dark cavern that he questions modernity in. He says, "We will hear the counsel of the children." And then he immediately goes back and gets the bowl. He's like, "Oh, God damn it. God damn it, that was a close one." So the wine stops instantly. It doesn't decelerate. It just stops. And then as you look out, you start to see, actually the camera is outside, and we can see James inside. And as they retreat, you see him wipe his eye. All right, now, so that is the end of that part. Now, we know how these movies end. We have vignettes where we return to our normal lives. Who's ready to go first?
I picture Temo and James with the CPU open in the AV club room, tinkering and futzing with the internals of the computer.
Nice.
And
And it's-
Mr. Miller.
It's just like the picture.
Yeah, it
it's just like the
totally
picture
is.
where he's just like,
Yeah.
"You boys are gonna be, you know."
Yes, exactly.
And at the end, so you guys are working on there, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, "James, do you know any Spanish?" All right, who's next?
Go ahead. I don't know. I
I
thought I
don't
had
know.
something.
No, Snap is gonna come out of this with some good shit.
Yeah, Snap is writing song lyrics.
The
right
album
now.
cover,
Yeah.
the album cover at a minimum, right?
Yes. Oh, very good.
My idea was that would have come slightly before Temo's.
Yeah.
Which is Betty climbing in through the window of the AV club and back out again with various parts of computer equipment that she is resetting up as best she can remember.
Yeah,
At which point, Mr. Miller, having left something in his office, walks in, looks at her, looks back at him and says, "What?"
The monitor's facing the opposite
Yeah,
direction
it's
on
facing
the
the
CPU.
front.
Yeah.
It's just like a Jenga tower.
And I feel as he goes, you made the right decision, which was what? Because she's not admitting anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's like, I'm glad that I didn't want to be stern. I didn't want to be stern with you, but I think we've gotten to a good place, babe.
I feel extremely disciplined.
Nice. All right, who's next?
I think I'll go next.
Nice.
I think it cuts to Ginger, and she is just finished showing her band the song that she wrote, and she has like a MIDI
Yeah, a little MIDI.
that she built with James.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They built
There we
it
go.
together.
Totally. Simple
And so
keyboards
she-
and
Right, exactly. And so she shows them like, and it's sort of like an electronic, like a little bit of electronic sound along with her drumming.
Nice. So get into some new wave type shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like changing the direction of the band a little bit, and everyone, like I would imagine, I would hope everyone would be excited. So
Yeah. That'll be cool. We'll find out next time.
yeah, okay.
What month are we in right now?
Right,
Yeah.
September.
And it's still 1986?
87 right now.
87. Okay, so Aliens would have just come out the year before, and I imagine that we're still in the scene where Timo is and James, and they're tinkering on their stuff, and I come into frame and I roll the TV.
Oh, on the AV card?
Yeah, on the AV card, and I turn on Aliens, and I'm like, we're gonna watch this as homework. Until then,
Next time.
I need to learn what you guys are up to.
Cool. So everybody, there's a lot of people just hanging out here in the AV club. What do you got, Kimberly?
I am leaving school for the day, and I've, Jason has just gotten his learner's permit, so we're gonna maybe flout the rules a little bit. I'm gonna ride home with him, but I tell him, I'll meet you outside and toss my hair, and I go to my locker and I open it up, and there's just. You finally see what's inside my locker, and it's someone has strung up tampons with like all sorts of weird paint and shit, and just on the inside it just says Dyke, and I just stare at it for a while, and then I turn around. I immediately whirl to the side, and I see someone just turning the corner, and it's my friend Shauna.
Oh, no, not Shauna.
And
That.
Shauna
Your
move.
friend.
Total Shauna move.
total Shauna move. So I rip whatever I can. You see me basically quick shots. You see me tearing stuff down, grabbing my books, throwing it in the trash can, getting into the car with Jason, who's like, "You okay?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm great."
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. That was a very cool movie, everybody. Nice work.
That was so fun.
Hey, WPA, thank you so much for rolling through. Hope you enjoyed the sequel to AV Club Sirius, Visiting Hours. Thanks so much for supporting the work that we do. And obviously, wait with bated breath for the next movie here in a couple months. Thanks so much.